girls missing. Every day got the souls that appear and straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening. Black girls missing. Every day got the souls that appear and straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening. Spiritual cancer, looking for answers, making it all a disaster. Nobody knows how many people you know that are turning to foes. Children be missing here, children be missing there, and it's really a scare. Police be acting foul, assume when the kids in the streets and they're being wild. And what is a runaway? That's the laziest cop in the desk that'll always get paid as the future gets kidnapped. What's the being degraded, becoming a devil's slave? Nobody understands the pain and the sorrow that's always standing at hand. Families stay full of pain, families stay full of pain as they yell at your name, hoping and praying, looking for solace as they all shoot through the shame. Seeing the news vans, all the reporters with microphones, cameras in hands. When will it all end? The murderous scenes, the children that's strung out on lean. We search in every zone, cause missing and missing and missing, we need them back home.
There's so many missing people of color in the U.S. African Americans remain missing 4 times longer than white Americans. That number is alarming.
Girl, I miss your smile, ain't seen it in a while. I don't laugh, I just cry, try to find a reason why. They done took my blood, I'm dry, and I pray at night to the Lord. Yeah, I watch news and I got the blues, cause I don't see my story.
Have you got you? Have you got you?
Black girls missing. Every day got the souls that appear and straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening. Black girls missing.
When a black person is in distress, missing, it's not a big deal to law enforcement because they don't think we have much to lose.
This one always gives me this remembering when she was a little girl.
Iceberg effect, on the surface it's so trivial. Do a search and it's 10 times worse. I don't think y'all hear me though. Media got the whole game on hide. They don't seek, they divide. And we don't talk, we just ride. They sleep, but we still outside. We don't trust the police, so we don't speak, and that's fucked up too. Gotta stop the hurt and put the cops to work. It ain't all about you, no. It ain't all about loot, no. It's a burden we all share. New birth to a pallbearer. About the children, we all care. This new thing's like Wu-Tang for the children. We gotta step up. White staring with your phone with your chest up. Kidnapped in a Tesla, then ride out quietly. They try to see, but they blind, no. Focused on their own kind, no. Not the opposite of our mind, no. Get to work, got a network through the hip-hop. We communicate, cause I don't know too many runaways. And I'm taking the message from state to state for a child of the people. Cause it ain't all equal. If you can't understand that, then fuck your ego. We know.
Black girls missing. Every day got the souls that appear and straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening. Black girls missing. Every day got the souls that appear and straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening.
This issue is very, very, very serious. And it's not just little black girls. It's little white girls, little Dominican girls, Mexicano girls, Asian girls. Let's stop. Let's save our children and get these predators off the street.
This little girl that just gotten off the metro with her mom, we were passing out flyers. She just stopped. She was staring. I asked, do you know her? She looks up at me and she says, she looks just like me.
Config Army remix. Boss like music 313. TTO. You know the stakes is high. Stakes is high as we live living out this Babylon. Prophecies get to dropping like a ticking bomb. Look at life, got us moving through this hocus pocus. Take a minute, got us shooting out of full focus. And we blazing cause the minds wrapped in bandages. Willie Lynch still got us being savages. Presidential bullshit, we see it every day. Whoa, ducking shots from another straight. Whoa, got a cop with some old haters. Beat the politicians moving like they don't skate. Through the arc of the north and the south gate. I'm coming straight from the west side of King Great. Sliding heavy with the knowledge that I'm bringing forth. Bring the balance back to hip hop, that's our culture source. I keep a line, motherland, she the super force. Know your man, learn your history, the true course. Know yourself, know your God, that's the true boss. True.
He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies. And as employees, we'd also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room.
Plug 1, plug 2, plug 3. And Jay Dilla, may you rest in peace.
I was born in it. I'm done in it. I won in it.
Hey, yo, Pluto. You going
brazen,
brazen?
nigga. I love for the trap. I love for the trap. Like it's real love. Damn, about nigga. I was born in it. I'm a done in it. I won in it. Damn, about nigga. My love for the trap. My love for the trap. I think this love real. Still got love for the trap that almost got me killed. Somebody grab a heater. In and out of town, buy a lot, get the prices cheaper. I was born in it, tryna make a train, can have my son in it. Dope man son, paid attention, now I'm a done in it. But I love you, you my everything. Love with the trap, see that Z, that's my wedding ring. Now run through the hood, finna blow the brain. Don't know why I be without you, probably go insane. My love for the trap. My love for the trap. I think this love real. Still got love for the trap, it almost got me killed. Grab a sandwich bag, take cash out. When you come, bring only cash. Before I had a house, I swear the trap house me many nights. I'm on the plane again, we getting low, it's time to take a flight. Hey, I love you. You change a nigga like how I'ma put something before you. Second trip I ever had on land weight. Fighting folks, show me what love was. I swear at first I had no ups and downs in this shit. 2 and 30, watch for the raid. Knew I make something out of my life and I went the day. Never pull up now, cause it ain't too many left. I ain't making no excuses, playing the cards that I was dealt. I'm in a trap house, lost downtown, nice as hell, but I'ma trap it out. Really know them raps, told you that, got it mapped out. Since I graduated, 5 years, seen no drought. I think it's real love. I love that trap shit. You change a nigga life, know this shit wrong, I don't know why, feel so right. My love for the trap. I know where I be. You and me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Just a Conversation. And today, we got the God, Supreme King Allah on deck. And my brother, we've been vibing for a long time. For a very, 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 very long time. And I'm happy the brother on the manifest. And today,
We get to hear the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding of the King. So when we bring them on, and mad salute to my nostalgic family, y'all know what it is. It's going down. Let's get the King on. Supreme King Allah.
Peace, peace to everybody.
What's going on, God? What's going on? Palms up to you. Go ahead, let everybody know who you are, what you do, and what you about, King.
Well, I'm Supreme King Allah. You know what I'm saying? I've been through the Dismal Crips 33 years. I'm out here trying to do some positive things. You know, like I say, me and the guy, Sean Farrell, we done did time together. You know, and we done verse, so we already know where our minds collide together. You know what I'm saying? We A alike, B alike, and C alike. So my thing is supporting
Amen.
all the brothers and sisters that's out here that's trying to do positive things right now. The things that I'm into. I'm trying to mess with the real estate game, fixing up on properties, cleaning gutters, doing everything that I can to stay out of prison. And I'm trying to help those that I see that's out in society that's continuing on the destructive path to get on the right path, you know, and try to do things that's going to propel us to success. So anybody that's trying to do something that's going to help us be successful, I'm with it.
Amen, amen. That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, do you still do your music, your R&B writing and singing and stuff like that?
Well, since I've been out here, I ain't wrote no new material, but I have been talking to some people and doing some things when it comes to music. Like I got a cousin that's still in Dismal Chris right now with a 35-year bit. And I'm trying to push his agenda right now because I see a vision. And I know how hard it is when you got a vision in prison and you're trying to push it out and want nobody to believe in that thing. So right now I am trying to mess with the music, but I'm trying to mess with it more in the sense of putting his vision out there and try to help him, you know, get his things going on.
Okay, okay, that's what's up. Any any since you've been out, have there any other brothers, you know what I'm saying, that we was building with inside the Dismal Crips, how they manifested, how you got in contact with them?
Well, a lot of them, like I say, I have no contact with them because when they left the Dismal Crips, they left no ways to communicate with them. But like I say, I'm hoping for the best,
Okay.
hoping that I see them or run into them and we can link up because the guys, like you said, that we was around that we asserted ourselves with, they was more positive than negative. So I love to, you know, link back up with them and see what we can do together.
Okay, okay, that's
That's
what's
all
up. No,
about.
and I yeah, exactly. I asked that because you know, our brother D Mike, you know what I'm saying, our A like D Mike, he on the
Yeah,
manifest.
yeah,
I ran into him, you know, ran into JCX, you know, since he been on the
yeah,
manifest.
yeah,
He was up in the Dismal Chris with us and stuff, you know. So these them two brothers, you know, yourself, myself, and other brothers that's the manifested Mass Salute to McLean Bay. He done manifested back out. You know, he
yeah,
doing this
yeah.
thing with the MSTFA and the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's it's a lot of things, bro, that is going on in today's times. Um, Spiritually wise, what kept you in the right mentality to survive going through, you know what I'm saying, those dismal crypts and being in the belly of the beast and stuff? Because these type of topics are not talked about a lot. And
Yeah.
society, when we talk about prisons and inmates and stuff like that, society has a very, very deep biasness. You know what I'm saying? Even though they might have family that's locked up, even though they might know somebody that's locked up, you know what I'm saying? They come to a time after so many years, people get forgotten about. And
Oh
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
sad
yeah,
part,
definitely.
you know what I'm saying? Because when a situation arises in those dismal crypts and a family member is hurt or a CO's and jumped on them or you know what I'm saying, did some injustice, they can't get nothing done because there's nobody
Yeah.
on the outside that is going to properly fight for them. You know what I'm saying? So in the time that you done, what did you do to keep your mental strong and keep your spiritual, you know, by
Well,
not becoming a product of that environment?
well, one of the key things is when I was 12 years old, my father asked me a question that propelled me to study the way that I study and understand what I understand. And let me share that with
Mm-hmm.
everybody. When I was 12 years old, I
Okay.
moved in with my father. And one day he asked me a question. And that question was, can I count from 1 to 100? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm 12 years old. I'm like, yeah, I can count from 1 to 100. He said, do it. I did it
Right.
sarcastically because I didn't understand where he was going. So I 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
like. Then he said, do it backwards. I did it backwards faster than I did it forward. Then he asked me, do I know my ABCs? I said, yeah, man, I know my. He said, do them. I didn't. Then he said, do them backwards. I couldn't do them. He said, you mean to tell me that it's 26 alphabets? You can do them forward, but you can't do them backwards. But you can count backwards from 100 down quicker than you did it forward. So he got me to understand certain things about what is to know and what is knowledge. And he told me to look it up because, you know, I had the same understanding that everybody else have due to the context that words be used in. So he said, look out front. He said, you see that car? Yeah, I see that car. He said, see, you aware that that car exists. You don't have knowledge of that car. A person in the army, his gun could fall apart in the pitch black. He could feel and grab his parts and put it back together in the dark. But see, we not being taught in the communities where we not taught knowledge. So when I started my bit, my understanding was how powerful words are. I never looked at myself as being in prison because I would look at myself as being in prison. I looked at myself as being in college, like we were studying. Because what do they do in college? They
Right.
study, they educate themselves. So I
You
think the
study.
perception and the way that I looked
Right.
at myself being inside the dismal crypt was different than most people are taught to see. So when I started breaking the words down, understanding words, and I was telling ones about how we ever paid attention to the word relationship. And I say, what's the difference between a relation and relationship? And I get this from my father's understanding. And they didn't know. And you know how we play on words, right? So everybody's like, oh, you playing on words? I say, no. Understand, a relation is anything, any dealings that you have with another person. You got a relation with the person at the store. But what is a ship? A ship is a vessel built to sustain 6 foot waves in it. So a lot of times when we out here in society, we thinking we're in relationships, but it's not built to sustain them type of waves, right? So therefore, when we get locked up, your woman dip on you, your friends dip on you, because we wasn't in a relationship. So we be expecting things from them when we in the dismal grips that we shouldn't be expecting if we have the correct understanding.
Exactly. I feel you on that.
I don't expect nobody to send me money if we not in a relationship. You know what I mean? Those that we have
No, you're right.
as soon as you gone, they gone. Because they don't know how to have long distance relationships. They know how to deal with us while we in their face. Because we can give them something, they can give it back. You know what I mean? We can trade. We can do trading with them type of people. But when it's on we ain't got no money, I'm locked up, I can't give you 1,000 out of my pocket, where you at now? When it's all about you support me. So everybody, they don't have bad intentions, but they just not taught how to be loyal. This is the taught behavior, because when we come out the womb, we don't know nothing. Everything that we do is a taught behavior. So when I was in the dismal crypts, and you know, we went through the ass stages, you know what I mean, the administrative segregation, and I used to sit and I used to stare at the ceiling and say to myself, why do I do the things that I do, and why do I like the things that I like? I had to study myself to get along with myself. So now, once you learn how to get along with self, like the scripture says, or the book says, know thyself. Once you can learn about yourself, then you can understand other things. But until we know about ourselves, we don't understand nothing. We think we do.
You're right.
But we know what we'll do. No doubt. So we know what we'll do, we can kind of get an understanding of what somebody else might do. But if we don't understand what we'll do, like when it gets thick, we've been in there. We know whether we'll run or not. A lot of guys will run. But when they get in it, what Tyson say? Everybody got a plan until you get smacked in the face, till you get hit in the face. You know, they say, I'm going to hit Tyson like this, I'm going to hit him like that. But we done been hit in the face. So when we giving persons our history, getting them to understand what we went through and what it takes. I even started thinking about starting an organization for all the guys that I know will stand up in prison to be able to communicate with people's mothers. They can get online and contact us, and we can help their sons navigate through the prison structure, because everybody got no street guy just because they was in the streets.
True.
But mamas,
That's true.
they need to know how to deal with this. Because right now, I'm dealing with a situation with my daughter's mother got sons in prison. Send me
Oh
$250.
wow. Okay.
Send you $250 for what? So you can grease the palms of somebody else with the hard money
Right.
that she making. I say, quit doing that. If you send $250, that's the come up from the store. But she not gonna send you, even though they're not my sons. She not gonna keep sending you $250 of her money every time you ask for $250. That $250 should propel you to be an entrepreneur in some type of way.
Yeah.
So it
Do some
has to
type
be
of hustle.
taught. Yeah, it's a taught behavior. So like I say,
Right.
we know how to survive out here, and you showing that 2013, and we know how to survive in there. So we got a vast array of knowledge that we got to share. And those that are listening, they're gonna gain from it. Those that don't
True to
listen,
that.
they're gonna lose. And I tell people all the time, even out here, it took me 33 years to get what I got. You don't want it for free? I pay the cost that you ain't willing to pay.
Ooh.
I
Man,
gave up
say that one
33
time.
years.
Man, bro, say that
How
to
much is
them.
it
Say
worth?
that for the people in the back, man.
How much is
Yes,
our time
exactly.
worth?
How much do it cost?
How much do it cost?
You're right.
Just to go to college for 4
Exactly.
years. Look how much it costs to go to college for 4 years. We went for, for decades. It ain't funny. But the thing about it is we show the strength of man. We show strength, pure strength. Because everybody can't do that. The things that we was doing in
No.
prison and the things that we was teaching, do you know how many times we've been on compounds where guys try to snuff out our teaching? They didn't want us teaching it. Because what it did was, when we teaching that every man is his own sole controller, it stopped them from being followers for somebody else. That person gonna get mad. He got 30 people on the compound that follow him when he say, go bust his head, go do this. We step on the compound, he got 10 followers left. He say, what didn't happen where 30 followers, 20 followers then left? They say, well, God's son Pharaoh been talking to guys.
Knowledge itself. Right.
Now he got a
Right.
problem.
Supreme King over there. Right. It's a problem. Supreme King got him in the
Now he
weight
got a
pit.
problem.
He dropping that knowledge on him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we put our life in jeopardy. Even though we teaching was right, we still put ourselves in jeopardy. But how many people willing to die for right when we was willing to die for wrong? When I was willing to die for wrong, I'm right now. I'll fight 3 times as hard now, though. So they thought I was a monster
Right.
then.
Yeah.
Shoot. To spread the truth. You know, they told Jesus,
Boy.
hey, look, they didn't tell Jesus spreading that truth was going to get him killed. He might would have went AWOL. Ain't no telling. If they would have told him, hey, you carry this message from here to here, this might get you killed. We knew the jeopardy that we was in, and we still did what we did. That shows the strength of us, brother. I'm proud every time I see a brother that I was in there with, the positive attitude that they still have. I don't even be around sadness out here. I say, anybody be sad, get away from me. Because my daughter here, and I come out still happy. Y'all been out here all these years. Y'all ain't did nothing with yourself. Now I'm gonna show you what you shouldn't be doing. I'm gonna show you.
Come on now.
You know, and I would say powerful, but it takes patience though. You know, we had to have patience in there.
That's the thing.
Yeah, the police.
Yeah,
we asked for a roll
to get it.
We asked for a roll of tissue at 8 a.m. We might not get it to 10 p.m. You know,
until 8 p.m. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, cause we had to have that patience because the police don't want to bring it to us. So it's about our trials and tribulations and what we gonna gain from that. We got an opportunity, and you have presented a platform for a lot of people to be able to come on here and spread a message, man, that is powerful. When they can see brothers that came up out of that setting and be as positive as we are, every time I be around them, they say, boy, you be smiling all the time. Why you smiling? I say, because I'm breathing.
Why not? Exactly.
I'm still breathing. Life ain't going to be no easy if I went down on my face. It's still going to be 24 hours in the day. No matter whether you sad, you feel sad or happy. Why not being happy? You know?
Come on now.
We got to be happy, man. And we got to teach people to start being happy with life. Because we got an opportunity that some people up on our feet ain't got it. They ain't got no chance no more. You don't get no second chance after the physical death. We say
No, you're
those
right.
that came back from mental death, but ones that came back from no physical. So we
Right.
still got life in us. But like I said earlier, we got a duty as well. We got a duty. They say each one teach one. So if each one of us reach and just grab one person, we done did over what we supposed to do because we just saved ourselves. When we save ourselves, you know how many lives we saved? Because we ain't on the path of destruction. We just saved 3 mamas from crying. 4, 5 mamas from crying. For the deaths in their family. You know, so we got an obligation that we got to take serious. And I take it serious. Like I said, a lot of times it just be some penitentiary things that guys be dealing in there. No, it got to respect out here as well. You got to be able to change the environment that you in and still keep the same mentals.
Exactly.
Everybody ain't good at that. And that's why I don't communicate with just anybody that I've met in prison.
No, that's
Because
true.
they're on the wrong path. It's just like the Wizard of Oz. Y'all going down the whole path. I ain't going down that one. Hey, look, I can't do it.
Right. You can stay on that yellow brick road if you want to. Right.
If they want to. And me being the type of person I am, going through trials and tribulations, I might mess around and get to the end of my path and come down and start painting them yellow bricks red.
Right.
I might be that damn.
Yeah.
You know, because like I say, look at Harriet Tubman, what she did. She went back and broke some people out. So sometimes we got to go on the yellow brick road and paint some bricks. If all of us sneak on that road for a minute and just paint a couple bricks before long, that'll be a red road too.
Yeah, it will. Yeah. That's true.
We'll paint a red. It's either going to be, it got to be. You know, but you know, hey, look, we were some studious guys in there though. You know, we studied
had
a lot.
to be studious. Yeah, we had to be studious. We see, we was in the era of reading is fundamental. See, and we come from that era where education was important. You know what I'm saying? Even though we would end up in the streets and end up juvenile delinquents, et cetera, regardless of the fact, our upbringing was surrounded by education. You know what I'm saying? Even though we probably skipped school a couple of times or whatever, but we maintained to keep knowledge, you know what I'm saying, academics as a forefront, even when we didn't put spirituality as a forefront.
When we went to prison, we was in an era of time when the more books you had, the more prestige you had. People walk past the hotel and seeing all the books stacked up. You was the stuff then. But now it did change before we left. It did change to where knowledge ain't king no more.
No.
Knowledge ain't king, the distraction.
It's all about the material shit and control.
It is. And you know, and I've been out here, and one of the things that I've been promoting is about teaching our women right. That's one of the key things that I've been out here promoting, right? Because like all the women I talk to that I run into, I had a conversation about a week and a half ago with a sister that was in a supermarket. We just so happened to be standing there. It's a long line. And I said, "Damn, you looking beautiful, sister." She had to be like 65 or something. But she looked jazzed. She had her stuff together. And I started talking to her. And I told her, I said, you know what? Us as men have to start teaching our women right, because when I was in prison, she said, "Oh, you was in prison?" I said, "Yeah, I was in prison." But I said, when I was in prison, everybody that was waiting on some money, they always told me, my sister gonna send me some money, my mama, my grandmama, my girlfriend, my daughters. But why do we have a lack of respect for womanhood if we realize that these are the people that's taking care of us when we're in prison?
Right.
We have a very lack of respect for women. And since I've been out here, like you already know, coming out with the glow, women have been approaching me. I'm talking, and they're aggressive. And they way more aggressive than they was before I went to prison, right?
Oh, but, yeah.
I'm talking, they walking up, touching my arm and stuff. I don't know. I'm like, oh, whoa, what's up? You know? But the thing about it is, the women.
That's because you glowing. You shining.
Yeah.
You shining.
Yeah,
you got a whole different energy.
So many advancements. I done turned down so many advancements because that is not what I'm trying to do. A lot of guys that I talk to out here be expecting that I done ran through some females. I say, man, I'm not trying to live my childhood no more. Them years of me is done. I'm not trying to catch up and do the things that I didn't get a chance to do. One that I didn't get a chance to do, I ain't trying to do it. You know? So having 5, 6 girlfriends and all that, I ain't trying to do that. I need me one woman in my life that can hold me down and I can hold her down. Yeah, but she got to understand when I came out here, Pharaoh, I came out here to a woman, right? Did my last 5 years with me. I knew her when I was younger and get money back when I was 15 years old, and I dated her for 2 months. And when I came out here, she didn't want me communicating with the females that I knew since I was 7 to 8 years old. So she became demanding, like cut them off. I said, I don't cut my friends off. I'm like a soldier. They say, leave no one behind. I'm not leaving my friends behind. These are the people that I care about enough that I want to help them propel to success. I'm not going to cut them off now that I had this. I'd have been better off cutting them off when I was doing negative. Now I'm doing positive. You want me to cut them off? Like, dog, I had them a part of all my scams and schemes back in the day. Come on, let's go do this. Let's do this. Now I'm on the righteous tip. Now you want me to cut them off because I'm righteous. You know? So I ended up separating from her because she couldn't deal with the women that was approaching me. And I told her, you don't have to trust millions of women. You just got to trust one man. That's all. Just trust me. And if you don't trust me, then move on. Because everything is established in trust. You got to be trust there. Because I can't follow you around for 24 hours. So I ain't going to follow you around for 1. Because that 1 hour, the other hour, you can do something. It don't take that long. So I have to have a woman in my life, and I tell guys this in prison. Choose a woman as if you was blind. And you know, a lot of the students used to be like, what you mean blind? I say, choose a woman that you can stand the sound of her voice if you can see her physical. You know, you want that speak voice. You want to be at a standard. You go blind. You don't want to be like, ooh, get away from me. I can't stand your voice. I can't stand what you're talking about or nothing. Choose a woman like we blind. Now, that don't mean that we can't be attracted to the women that we choose, but we got to be more in the sense of not trying to have it like everybody else said, dime piece. Because what's a dime to you? It's a matter of your opinion. Because everybody don't look at the qualities. A lot of people look at the physical. I'm looking at the quality. Is this a loyal type of woman? You know, is this the type of woman that if I was my worst times, is she gonna be there for me? I'm losing my hair. Is she gonna be with me when I'm going ball? If she can't be with me when I'm going to ball, what if I lose a leg? She ain't gonna be nowhere to find. She can't deal with ball, and she can't deal with missing legs. You know, but the thing about it though, Pharaoh, we got to be the type of guy that be grown men about things, right? Grown women got stretch marks and cellulite. How a guy gonna say, I don't want no woman with no stretch marks and no cellulite? Why not?
That's the illusion.
This the delusion that been planted to us that we don't want no female with stretch marks and cellulite. So I had a female that I was communicating with, and she didn't want to take her shirt off because she had that. So I told her, I said, take that off. I kissed her on her stomach. I said, you know how you got that? She said, what? I said, the stretch marks and cellulite. You did one of the most beautiful things a woman can do. You gave birth to a child. Why should I look at that as being ugly? Now, she was able to take it all off. Now, every time I see her, she come out of it, right?
With no problem, right?
It's on us to make our woman. A lot of times, the only reason women gonna cheat on us if we don't make her feel good about herself. If she thinks that it's something in the back of our mind that we despise about her, we dislike about her. But if we see our woman and she changed her earrings and we say, dang, woman, that's some beautiful earring. Oh, you got your hair done different today. We got to recognize our women and pay more attention. And it's like going to a restaurant. When you go to a restaurant, you look at the menu and you might say to yourself, let me get a steak, please, with A1 and some fries, right? You got what you want. Another person going there, he only got a few dollars, so he get a bologna sandwich, right? He keep looking at your stuff. Why are you looking over here? Because you don't got what you want. If you was able to buy a steak, you, you wouldn't be looking over here. So everybody have to put on their plate what they want. If you want the positivity and the things that's gonna help you acquire the success, you got to put that on your plate. Put
Amen.
on your plate what
I
you
agree with
want.
that.
Don't let nobody else set your plate for you. Because we already know that if we end up being on somebody else's show, they're never gonna make us the star.
At
So we
all.
gotta write our own script. We gotta write our own script and be the star in our show. And if a person come in your show, he understand I'm in your show. I might be lead actor, second best lead actor, but I'm not trying to be the lead actor in your show. But I'm gonna
Exactly.
create my own,
Exactly.
and I'm gonna lead my own.
See, but that comes with the mentality of not seeing everything as competition.
Yes, yes.
That's that's what and that's always been the downfall, even in hustling, in survival, and a lot of things. Humanity has always been focused on I gotta be better than the next motherfucker. No, the fuck you don't. You gotta be
No.
better at what you do. You see what I'm saying? Fuck what the
Yeah,
next motherfucker doing.
yeah.
Be better at what you do. That way you ain't gotta worry about the next motherfucker being better because if he ain't, you already shining.
No doubt. Look at the stars.
And,
Look at the
and,
stars at night. Look at the
and
stars
they
at
already
nighttime, brother.
dead. Ain't that a bitch?
Hey, more stars shine
No,
than
but
one.
but no, but they already dead.
Yes,
You see what
yes.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
The stars we see that shine bright as fuck been dead for aeons and millennia.
yeah, 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 definitely.
So draw on that science. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So
yeah.
yeah, I got you.
What, hey, your boy Biggie said it. You nobody until somebody killed you. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
You nobody, the stars ain't nobody until
man,
somebody killed you. You know?
come on now, rest in
For
heaven,
real.
Big Small. But
Yeah.
look, bro, man, I'm loving all this knowledge you dropping, bro, and I'm glad to have you on, bro. I'm glad that you have maintained to stay Supreme
Yeah.
King a lot, bro. Cause
Yes.
bro, it's the dynamic of culture shock. Cause
Yeah, it is.
technically, coming from the dismal Crips back to society, and then it also depends on the age you went in. See, I went in, I was 19, 21.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you was around the same age when you went in.
18? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go in. If it wasn't for juvenile, because juvenile also prepares,
It
you know
prepares
what
you
I'm
for
saying,
prison.
it
Yeah, it
prepares you
does.
for prison. And that's sad to say, you know what I'm saying, because everything as far as with the juvenile justice system is supposed to be to change a mentality of the youth from being destructive and negative and maladjusted, et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah.
what they do in there is make you more criminalized than you went in. So when
Yeah.
you get out, you already prepared to go sitting in the county, sitting in the jail cell, waiting on the tall and turnkey. All that shit ain't shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because you've
Yeah.
been through juvenile. You used to it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and it's a sad thing, but at the same time, we could look at society and see the reflection. You
That's why
see
I
what I'm
say
saying?
it's not
Because
helping. Like
yeah,
you say, it's
the,
not helping. It's harboring fugitives. It's not helping fugitives. It's harboring us. That's all.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
So
harboring us.
that takes me back to when I said about the prison system
Yeah.
pushes people out, not giving
Yeah.
a fuck if they right or not. All they
Yeah.
care about is that dollar they get. You get, like what we used to tell them, motherfucker, nigga, you worth $40,000 up in here. You wasn't
Yeah.
worth that
For
when you
real.
was in the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they go keep wanting that revolving door to keep revolving. So
Yeah.
they go push you out there. You know what I'm saying? We done seen a lot of them. I don't
Oh,
even
we
want to
see
get
so
to
many guys
talking.
come back. We see so many guys come back and forth.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait for our
You know what
chance.
I'm saying?
Wait
Man,
for our
bro,
chance. For real.
come
Yeah.
on. And
Yeah.
it's sad because it shows that really, truthfully, don't nobody give a fuck, bro. A second chance.
They don't care because we
We
don't
have
care.
That's what I was about to say. We have to make our own second chance. And if you're not making your own second chance, ain't nobody else gonna give a fuck about you making it either.
It was hard for me to get a job, bro. You know what I did? I created one.
It's gonna be hard.
I created my own.
Okay.
I said, if I can't find no job, I'm gonna create my own. So what I do, I started cleaning gutters. I ended up gonna cut the tree in front of the house. Just cut some of the limbs off. I went to Home Depot. They said $73 for 24 hours to rent their chainsaw, right? I say the chainsaw itself costs $220. So I bought the chainsaw and I did some more yards and cut their trees and made my money back and still got a chainsaw. You know, like I'm not finna just give these people some money without understanding an investment in everything that I do. My girl cousin, she wanted her car cleaned. She say she just got a Jeep Wagoneer. She say, cousin, how much would you charge me to clean my car? I'm like, she done did so much for me since I've been out here. I'm telling anything I ask for, she give it. And she wasn't even born when I went to prison. So I said, right before I could tell her, just buy the stuff, clean the car, and I clean your car all the time, right? She said, what if I just buy all the stuff and take the detail of the car and you can keep it? I said, I'm just going to tell you the same thing. So now I'm going to detail the cars. You know, like I turned everything into an opportunity. And we taught that. We got to turn everything into an opportunity that's positive for ourselves. As long as we can get that in our minds to understand positive opportunities that we can provide for ourselves. We can't look for somebody else to do something for us. We already was taught that. We got to do for ourselves and show others how to do for themselves, because this is something that the young man is not being taught. Because why are they being taught? I'm a product of that. I was locked up. I wasn't out here to teach my babies. So a lot of us as black men, we're not out here to teach them, so we can't complain about them shooting up stuff. They learn from us. But we got to teach them something different now. But it's all about us being who we can't come around them and be toting the pistol and telling them, put your pistol down. Or taking them in the environment where they're going to need a pistol and say, don't carry your pistol. If I'm taking you where a lot of stuff happening, of course you don't want to carry your pistol. So I got to take you in environments that you say, I don't need no gun out here.
That you ain't got to take it, you ain't got to carry it. Exactly.
You ain't got to carry it.
Exactly.
You know, but it's, you know, when we went to school, when we was young, the teacher took us to the zoo. They took us to the art gallery. They tried to show us that it was something outside our community.
Commercial.
Say commercial.
Go ahead, King. Don't finish your statement. No. Go ahead and finish your statement. Then we go into the commercial.
Yep, I said they took us outside our community to show us that it was something different besides what was going on in our home. Right.
Amen. Look, we finna hit this commercial break, everybody.
Yes,
y'all can sit back and chill out with this dope as fuck underground music that's played on Nostalgic Radio. Y'all know what it is. It's just a conversation with your favorite Pharaoh, Godson the Pharaoh, and we got the King, Supreme King Allah on deck. Y'all know what it is. We'll be right back.
Shout out Five Flame Goddess.
So special.
Divine family. Divine. Shout out Miller Fire.
Lady Miss from the Ground Up Productions, and I am talking to my peoples over there. Tyler Mix, he's over there in Elmira, upstate right now, and he got a story to tell y'all.
Mad hoes strut they shit up in the Met Gala. Then fuck around and saw some dick up in the Met Gala. Pay about your ride, pay about your kids, that was MTV. VH1 was a medium for everything. Now they wanna bring back on 106 and Park. Is this Bobo standing up? Is he really gonna work? While your president is dropping all these tears off of foreign lands. Got our kids in these streets, stressed off place and grams.
Allows inmates to be out of their cell for 7 hours a day. The correctional officers are against that, and it just created a whole non-safety situation for the whole jail there in Elmira. The staff really stand up and scared for their life and so the inmates too.
Changing the history, that's something devils do. Or false narratives or teachers that you never knew. Now they wanna take the spiritual about the knowledge. Give you 12 grades, send your ass off to college. Acting like they never knew this matrix had existed. They can stay you being God, so they brother can get twisted. Ripping up a nationality that take our birthrights. Preaching no more, it's for the gospel of the holy light.
They watch the fights. Every fight, they barely even break up fights. Sometimes you can see inmates breaking up fights and like after a person gets beat up or something, they step in and break up the fight.
Fire Nation, flames. Here's the thing that they hate, for us to be great. Reach one, teach one, push it to elevate. Keep your mind focused on the grind. Shade never get shine. Waking up is divine. Being woke is divine. The power in every hour. Enemy needing power. Head on a swivel, never knowing it's your hour. You don't wanna be that one with nothing left in your honor. Now the family messed, I'm trying to make it like empire.
So can you give me and the people who are listening right now, can you give us a visual of, give us some type of visual to understand what's going on? Like, what exactly are the inmates doing specifically to each other, to the COs, or the COs doing to them? Give us, take me through a day in Elmira.
Look, I ain't even gonna lie. The blood thing, the Bloods run the whole jail. They run the phones. They run what's going on.
No kizzy, little bitch get tossed like frisbee. Too fine, ain't worth 2 pennies. Still hit her, make her scream like Sydney. Straight to it like ain't nothing pending. Big bags, ain't talking about Wendy's. If you mind it, ain't no niggas. There's you, there's me, this trigger. No cap, no kizzy, little bitch get tossed like frisbee. Too fine, ain't worth 2 pennies. Still hit her, make her scream like Sydney. Straight to it like ain't nothing pending. Big bags, ain't talking about Wendy's. If you mind it, ain't no niggas. There's you, there's me, this trigger. No cap, that hit in that face, had to make them believe. Make it look easy like money on trees. I'm raking the leaves. A pussy like water, yeah, straight to the head like taking a lead. This project was made for the streets. This what you get when you mix an A with a P. I want all of the smoke. I've been waiting to see like a fat kid waiting to eat. I can't tell you how it happened, but I'm here. I used to let it break me down. I barely drop a tear. How to coach too many losses, think I know I want a pill. I was living fast, nigga, really had to chill. My mind is too powerful. Think before you act, try to reach for your waist, and you can get bent back. All I got on doing is shake them haters out, quitting black. All I ever really wanted was a big bag. Acting like a goddess, we can split that. I'ma tear that ass up, make her come and get a lick back. We both wrapped up in this paper, no zigzags. If you really want it, you can get it, but only if you real bad. Raw base bottle, where she grab it on the stick, tryna knock it out the ballpark. All-star pick, got me licking on your neck, rubbing on your titties, feel the panties steady leaking. Got a nigga wanna eat it. No cap, no kizzy, little bitch get tossed like frisbee. Too fine, ain't worth 2 pennies. Still hit her, make her scream like Sydney. Straight to it like ain't nothing pending. Big bags, ain't talking about Wendy's. If you mind it, ain't no niggas. There's you, there's me, this trigger. No cap, no kizzy, little bitch get tossed like frisbee. Too fine, ain't worth 2 pennies. Still hit her, make her scream like Sydney. Straight to it like ain't nothing pending. Big bags, ain't talking about Wendy's. If you mind it, ain't no niggas. There's you, there's me, this trigger. No cap.
No cap, no kizzy. Hopping out with the Drake, no drizzy. Chasing young money, big CEO getting it. Keep your nose out of beef for him business. A man big fitted won't leave no witness. Pockets overweight, don't need no fitness. I'm a little bitch getting tossed, no did it. Play with mine, hollers flying like frisbee. Top for the game like OG Bennett. Welcome to Dallas, the Green Dot City. Man stuff, they ain't knowing who did it. Loud pipes with sticks through the city. Bullets flying, who throwing, who pitching. Don't really matter, I'ma catch who did it. Spin on the ass, won't stop till I'm dizzy. Stuck in the game, no pivot. No cap.
No kizzy, little bitch get tossed like frisbee. Too fine, ain't worth 2 pennies. Still hit her, make her scream like Sydney. Straight to it like ain't nothing pending. Big bags, ain't talking about Wendy's. If you mind it, ain't no niggas. There's you, there's me, this trigger. No cap, no kizzy, little bitch get tossed like frisbee. Too fine, ain't worth 2 pennies. Still hit her, make her scream like Sydney. Straight to it like ain't nothing pending. Big bags, ain't talking about Wendy's. If you mind it, ain't no niggas. There's you, there's me, this trigger. No cap.
suppress my feelings. I'd rather y'all kill me so I can shout to the heavens till one of them angels hit me. When you standing on the top, all you can do is look down, but I'm on the ground looking up, so all I can do now is push. Yeah, I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, I gotta struggle through the labyrinth of life, and every turn is a new puzzle. So I'm looking to these heavens, yeah, they help me, but they offer no rebuttal. So I push, I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, I gotta struggle through this labyrinth of life, and every turn is a new puzzle. So I'm looking to these heavens, yeah, they help me, but they offer no rebuttal. So I say, every dude wanna make moves. Hot-headed niggas wearing ice just to keep cool. The niggas that can't fight keep tools. You gotta keep one too, for the fact anybody could try you. I said that anything can happen, could be gone in a minute. So from dusk till dawn, put on until I'm finished. I'm striding through life like a nigga long-winded, never sprinting, searching for that meal ticket. I ain't trying to miss it, cause life's real, and it always gave me chills. But as you get older, it gets colder. I got this knife in my back with the devil on my shoulder. I'm waiting for my angel to guide me right on the other, but he never showed up, and I'm tired of looking over and my chest blown out. The cold got my heart iced over. Emotions keep you from progress. I'm focused on getting closer. I'm that kid wondering what they say he not supposed to, so I push. Yeah, I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, I gotta struggle through the labyrinth of life, and every turn is a new puzzle. So I'm looking to these heavens, yeah, they help me, but they offer no rebuttal. So I push, I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, I gotta struggle through this labyrinth of life, and every turn is a new puzzle. So I'm looking to these heavens, yeah, they help me, but they offer no rebuttal. So I feel hoping music could be his 4-leaf clover. Body high, but his spirit so sober, cause he realized inside he couldn't be any lower. Just trying to wake my soul up like foe. Just put me on the front line, trained to die. See, they play me for a pawn, not a soldier. I don't live life for direction, survive to stay alive, never to take orders. Live life miserably and smile like everything's alright. Man, no the fuck it isn't. I was reborn, reformed in my chrysalis, so y'all gon' fucking listen. I will never be nobody's bitch. I'm committed to rolling solo, putting my trust in no one. No love, definitely no road dog. I'm taking roll calls, saying fuck all y'all. Point blank, no need to repeat. Obviously I'ma do me, the rest of the world can control or delete as I push. Yeah, I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, I gotta struggle through the labyrinth of life, and every turn is a new puzzle. So I'm looking to these heavens, yeah, they help me, but they offer no rebuttal. So I push, I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, I gotta struggle through this labyrinth of life, and every turn is a new puzzle. So I'm looking to these heavens, yeah, they help me, but they offer no rebuttal. World on my shoulders keep me down, but these drugs keep me up. Cold war freezing my soul, fire in my belly heat me up. The lean slow me down, my dry speed me up. Low life in disguise, all I can do is look up. This dream of eating got me hungry, envious of those above me. Life ugly than a bitch, and she always trying to fuck me. No stuffy running belly, rumbling, feel it in my tummy. World got me sick, the cold coming. I wish I was cold-blooded, so I could just say fuck it and fuck everybody but me. I'm tired of being unlucky, that's what I play you for puppet. Manipulate your movements, you trying to influence the public. They trying to keep me close like luggage since the city was plumaged. Then they find that gold nugget among the rubbish. I swear when them dollars coming that I ain't gonna have no budget. All of my people getting something. Cause I wasn't pushing for nothing, so let's go, I push. Yeah, I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, I gotta struggle through the labyrinth of life, and every turn is a new puzzle. So I'm looking to these heavens, yeah, they help me, but they offer no rebuttal. So I push, I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, I gotta struggle through this labyrinth of life, and every turn is a new puzzle. So I'm looking to these heavens, yeah, they help me, but they offer no rebuttal. So I
Started from the bottom, then we up now. 10 toes flat on the pavement, the ground. She told me that she need me around. We eating good, got me gaining pounds. Gotta show out whatever I do. Circle small when it got me a cool. turn my back on you, I can't at all. You always there when I need you, when I pass the ball. Can't sleep without you at home taking PM Tylenol. You the bag to my paper when we blow it all. Still bumps on my body when I'm thinking of you. You got the juice, you do something to me when you not in the room. Back to take out, will you be there when I make it? Need you on my side, I started from the bottom, then we up now. 10-toe flat on the pavement, the ground. She told me that she need me around. We eating good, got me gaining pounds. Gotta show out whatever I do. Circle small when it got me a cool. Never turn my back on you, I can't do that, no, no, no. You forever my dog.
They said time heals everything. You get mad, go through my phone, trip over anything. You tripping over the studio, that's the only time I spend. From the trenches, I was taught to get it how I live. Grinding to build a legacy for my 5 kids. My apologies for wrong I did. The more I learn about myself, the stronger I feel no matter what. When you need me, I'm here.
Started from the bottom, then we up now. 10-toe flat on the pavement, the ground. She told me that she need me around. We eating good, got me gaining pounds. Gotta show out whatever I do. Circle small when it got me a cool. Never turn my back on you, I can't do that, no, no, no. You forever my dog.
Oh, 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 yeah.
We done all had them times where we done felt like giving up. That real now. Where we just felt like we couldn't go no more, for sure. But when you get up in them times, you gotta stay strong. Like, oh, as a matter of fact, them the times when you gotta get strong for shit show. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Out here in these streets, it ain't no room for the weak. Nah. It's either you stand on business or get put out of business. Ching, ching. Shit. Straight up. Real.
This is my pain, my story. This is my story. This is my ride to glory. I'm taking my glory. 'Cause all I ever wanted was to be all that I could be in these streets. For the win out in these streets.
About to go back home?
Yeah.
Ready?
Come here with me.
Okay. Mad salute. Welcome back to Just a Conversation. And real quick, I want to endorse my home slice hair oil, Allure Authentic Amore LLC hair oil. It looks good. Put it for your hair, your dreads, your beard, anywhere you got hair that you want it to grow. This is what you need to know. Go ahead and get this here, copy your bottle. Facebook, Allure or More Authentic LLC. IG, Allure or More LLC. And get you a bottle. They $25 for the big one, $15 for the small one. Y'all know what it is. Support Asiatic businesses. Let's get it. Now we back on deck with the king, Supreme King Allah. We having a great conversation. And I want to bring in our producer, you know, my main man, King J. Because, you know, he always has some real positive input and knowledge to come in with the conversations that we be having on Just a Conversation. Off Nostalgic Radio, baby. King J, what's up, baby? Salute.
What's good, man? How you doing? How y'all doing tonight, man? Y'all just was having a great conversation.
Peaceful, true. Yeah.
You say you
conversation. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, and I was just saying, y'all were having a great conversation, man. I love what we were talking about backstage because a lot of the times, like me, I only work with people who's trying to do better, and I don't work with people who just because you got money that don't move me, that don't move me
Exactly.
go. I want to work with somebody that want to do something positive. So even when I'm building my business, that's what I was looking for. Now that we've expanded and we're working into me, I'm like, me, God, I tell you. When you told me you wanted the show, got you. Don't worry about it. You didn't have to do no work. You don't have to market. We got you. Just as long as you keep it into positive. Because at the end of the day, we got enough negative running around. I don't even turn my TV. I got 5 TVs in my house. I don't think I watch them at all.
That's how I am. I don't be watching TV.
Because it's
I
always
listen to meditation music. Now, I binge my zombie movies. I do my zombie movies. I do the little Tubi movies. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Chief Pretty Smile on the Raw Tuesday Tubi, because I be on her when she do her Tubi Tuesdays. I go watch the movie and check it out, see what she be talking about and all that. But other than that, I listen to meditation music and underground music as far as TV.
Yes.
So I get you.
You know what trip I'm on right now? Like I said, I'm setting things up for one of my stars that's coming, and set up one room just with the stars and the universe be able to flash on the ceiling, and just happen you got the beanbag furniture and all that shit. Where it's a tranquil room. You go in there, you meditate, you on your pad, you write down your day planner and all that kind of stuff. But when you go in there, it's straight peace, whether you listen to some jazz, the sound of the waterfalls and all that type of stuff. A peaceful room. And a lot of times, I think that we do us good when we wake up in the morning and we just get our day started and we just go up in the room like that and get our mind right. You know how they say wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Sometimes we wake up on the wrong side of the bed because we don't have the intentions of what we're going to do for that day. But everybody has to wake up with a purpose, though. We got to wake up with a purpose. A lot of people sleep. I was just telling one of my female friends, she just a friend since I'm like 7 years old. And I was telling her, like, she said, well, I was taking my grandkids and stuff to the zoo, but they still sleep. Now, this is around noon time. I said, why do we sleep that late on the weekend? She said, well, because everybody work. They ain't working. Why is they sleeping? Our parents used to do that because they used to work all week and they have to sleep in. You know about being in prison, you already know on the weekend the guy go get the waffle and he come back and get in bed. But why are they doing this? Because we are creatures of habit. We see monkey do. We see somebody do. Why can't it be that way when it comes to positive things?
We gonna do the
Why
same
can't monkey see monkey do the positive? It always be the negative. And that's crazy when I look at that and I say,
so I do a thing called 2 chairs. And I even taught my kids. So I got arrested one time and I was over something I went through, and this guy, I swear to God, God brought him to my cell just to talk to me because he's only in there for 4 hours. Like he literally came in and he was gone at 5 in the morning. He was waking me up. Transfer over here, but I want to give you this. So he gave me this book, and it was about these 2 atheists, and they were married to each other, so they didn't believe in nothing. They were scientists too, which most scientists are like that. And as I read the book, he talked about how his dad used to get up every morning at 3 in the morning, but he didn't have to be at work until 6. But he couldn't understand why he would get up every morning. Then he said one morning he came up and his dad was just sitting in the living room with a chair, like a prison chair, like a jail interrogation. Yeah, he was sitting in a chair directly across from him. And he said, but as I came in, he said, I didn't understand as a kid, but as I started getting older, I tell people all the time, you cannot believe in God while you're young. You can do it all day, but something in your life is going to trigger that God, what I call the God part of it, is going to come out. Even atheists on their deathbed talk to God. They just don't tell you. And I'm like, at the end of the day, 2 chairs is this. I tell everybody about it because people pray, but then when they pray, they get up and they go about their day. They never get God to answer, right?
Yes.
So what I've been teaching people and a lot of my friends is like, hey, I get up at 3 o'clock every morning. I ain't got no reason to get up, but when I get up, I put my 2 chairs out and I sit and I talk to God for an hour. But I only talk to him for 20 minutes. That's it. I say what I have to say. For the rest of that time, I sit and I listen. But I don't talk to him like, oh Lord, your word. I talk to him about real stuff. Like, you promised me this. You said if I did this, then this will happen. I talk to him like I'm talking to y'all now, like a real conversation. I don't
Right.
I don't not cuss. If that's how you feel it, let it out, because he wants you to be that way. So
You gotta let it out. Exactly.
when I started introducing this to people, I get so many people that hit me up and be like, Jason, I get it. And I've been doing it for 2 weeks and I've seen how God is. I said, because once you take that time out to listen now, and I like you guys, like I told God so when I first met him, your being locked up is God sitting you down. So you essentially did the same thing. You just don't see it that way because what you in. But when God needs you to sit down, he's gonna do whatever he with. Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I like what you were talking about, because you're talking about changing these people's mindset. And if you can't do that, then we're gonna be in this circle that they got us running in. Because right now, our black culture is living in a realm where they just chasing tails. And then their kids grow up chasing tails. And then their kids grow up chasing tails. Because they tricked us into believing that money is what we need when they're out here playing.
Right.
Because I tell people, when me do the type of investment that I do, I told a guy just yesterday, bro, you asking for 30 million. You're gonna get 30 million.
Hold on 1 second, I gotta plug this leg in. The thing going off. I just gotta grab the plug.
I tell them all day. I tell them all day at the end of the day, you want to deal with real investors. You don't see $30 million. What you see is a piece of paper that says proof of funds. And off that proof of funds, everybody gonna get up and go to work. Because why? Because it's called barter. They're gonna put their service in, and they know that money is gonna come at the end. I talk to people in my conversation, guys. Hey, if somebody come to you to ask you to help you, you need help. Somebody come to you, and the first thing they say is money. Run. That's what I learned from my millionaire investors. Because if money is the first thing out somebody's mouth, you don't want no dealing with them. You see that every day with me.
But you know what they say about a fool and his money will soon depart, right?
Yep.
When we was young, you know, we been in the game and did this and did that, and we got the money, but we gave it all back away.
Yep.
That's why most of us end up in prison, and we can't even buy a noodle soup without the help of our mamas and grandmamas and nothing, right? Because we departed from our money. So therefore, when a person learns first how to think first, you know, most likely they're more capable of holding on to their money if they learn how to think first. And that's one thing about within the communities. A lot of times we're not being taught economics. You know, we're not being taught how to invest our money. We taught how to spend money. We became a people that learned how to spend money versus keep money. For the most part, most of America is in credit card debt.
Exactly.
Don't nobody want to buy a car.
That's design.
It's designed that way. How can we, you know, I wrote something years ago, Pharaoh, and it was called Buried Alive. God said to me, and I had to explain to them being buried alive. We buried in credit card debt, we buried in school loans, we buried in everything, and we still alive. We killing ourselves. But who gonna be the one that teach when we grow up? You know, back in the days growing up, I'm 52 years old. So I grew up around when we had the paper route, the lemonade stand. Our daughters and sons was learning from a lemonade stand. They was learning that it take me $1.50 to make a pitcher of Kool-Aid that I get 8 cups from. Each little plastic cup cost me 2 cents. So each cup to manufacture a cup of lemonade cost me 7 cents. So therefore, if I sold it for a quarter, I know when I'm making 18 cents, right? This is how a child starts off young with understanding the economics of it. Right?
Hey, hold that note right there. I want to say this. Hold that thought.
Yes,
that
please.
is so great that you said that, because guys, Do you remember? Do you remember when the internet hit and there was this big battle because this is how much black people don't understand retail sales? What you just said. So it was a thing that came out a couple years ago where these people, it was all over Facebook, all over like these. It was families fighting with families. It caused this big uproar, right?
Yeah.
Because people do not understand retail sales. The question that the guy asked, he said specifically this. He said, if you open your store, you open your cash register, you put $300 into your cash register, right? He said, say you open your store, you turn your back, I come into your store, King, and I take $100 out the cash register without you knowing. I leave out of the store, you come back, you running your daily business. I come back an hour later and I buy $70 worth of products from your store. You give me back $30. The end of the question simply said, how much money did you actually lose that day? You know, everybody,
130.
you lost more than that, bro. And you're right if you're just looking at the cash. But something that King
Right.
said is what you need to pay attention to. The cup you bought, the Kool-Aid you made,
Okay.
everything. So if you looking at it like I bought $70 worth of product, I actually lost $200 that day. I just don't know it yet until I do inventory.
Yeah.
Well,
That is all.
let me because the $70 of food that you bought. Oh, I get it because you the one who took the $100 out the first. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I not saying what I
Gotcha.
lost. King, if King was the store owner, he actually lost $200. He just
Well, he
don't
actually
know that.
because you took the same $100 that you took out of his cash register to pay for the $70 of the food. So you ain't lost nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
Okay,
when King
okay.
closes out his register at the end of the day, it's going to say
He lost 200. Yeah,
and it's going to say he lost $130.
right,
That's what his register going to say. But when he
right.
go to count inventory, like every store do at the end of the month, he's going to be
Yeah.
like, I got $70 worth of inventory. Oh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
man. So now
Right.
I
That's that
literally
$70
lost
that you bought with the $100 that you stole.
And that
Exactly.
and King,
Okay.
I only said that because of what you're saying we need to get back to. That's why we don't understand that. Because most of us are used to drop shipping because they created a system to make it easier for us. We don't understand what it means. I tell somebody the other day, if I help you build a t-shirt company and you do t-shirts, sell t-shirts out the trunk of your car, and if you first start out with $2,000 worth of t-shirts, I print them up for you, do everything for you that you know we could do, and you make $6,000 off those t-shirts. When you come back to me, this is not the no game. You gonna spend that whole $6,000. Why? Because you want to put your job eventually, right? You want to be able to
Eventually.
work. So now
Right.
I tell you, don't go to your little petty ass job that you got. Sell these shirts, but all that money from the shirt, we gonna reinvest back into the shirts. So now you went from 6,000 to 6,000 invested, from 6,000 to 12. By the end of the
Right.
year, you'll have enough money that you can start paying yourself. But what
Yeah.
do? We turn around and say, I made $6,000. I'm gonna go and get this other 3,000, and I'm gonna spend this 3,000 over here, and then wonder why we can't make it.
Mm-hmm.
And remain
Get back
at the
up.
same point that you was at when you started.
Right.
It start exactly.
You
And
know.
wonder why.
Exactly.
Hey, I got a true story about that when I was in the lifestyle of the drug game. Right, I was selling drugs, and I always kept going back buying the same thing. Right, 'cause like you say, I was spending all my money. So I kept on doing it, kept on doing it. So one day I went over to my father's house, and my father seen me with a chain on, and he said, "What do this mean?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" You talking about the symbol that was on it? It was a Pegasus on it, right? Horse with the wings and all that.
Yep.
He said, "You
Right.
buying all this garbage." He said, "You buying all this garbage, right?" So I end up selling. I'm talking about. I ran out of money. Period. Right? I spent it all. I went back to him to get back on because he was in that lifestyle. He said, "Come on back with
Right.
me, cause you messing up. I just messed up like 10 grand, right?" He said, "Come back with me, boo." I'm like, "Man, get all that." He wouldn't put me back on. I went back and started working for some other guys and ended up having to take off with the sack, right? Because I was so ambitious to be my own boss, right? I took off with they sack.
You didn't
They
do it
caught up
right.
with me and left me for dead, right? They thought they killed me, threw me in the
Right.
vacant lot,
We
all this
know.
other type of stuff,
Right.
right? But I was going through this because even though I was around people that was a little successful, I wasn't learning or they wasn't teaching the economics of this. Like
Yeah.
when you go back, like you say with the $3,000, you don't spend anything else and just spend the 3,000 again. You spend that 6, you double up, you double down. If you believe in yourself, you're gonna double down. Double down, make you 12.
Yeah.
And keep on going. You got to see progress.
Right.
And a lot of times, even in prison, when we look at ourselves and the things that we've been through, a lot of times guys be in prison, we done ran into them 5 years later. They ain't make no progress, whether it's financially, spiritually, or mentally. We got to be making progress.
At
And if we
all.
don't see progress in ourselves, it got to be somebody to point it out. The Bible say, should I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? We got to not be afraid to tell our friends the truth. Bro,
And the thing
you
about it
still in
is,
the same place 5 years ago.
and surround yourself around people that will tell you the truth.
They tell
Because
you
I
the
tell
truth.
everybody, you can't be my friend. You can't even be my business partner. If I'm messing up and I'm doing something wrong, if I'm not showing you what I promised when I brought you into this business
Yeah.
deal, you need to be able to step to me and say, hey, Jason, you told me this, and this is the opposite of what happened. I had to correct a lot of things with nostalgia because I got sponsors, I got people, but I'm like, but if you're not doing the work, if I got new people like Godson coming in doing his show every Saturday, you seeing the growth, you seeing what he's doing, but you mad because your show's not over there doing what it's doing. You're not following the plan, but you
It's a
want
recipe.
a lot of people.
It's a recipe.
And since you said it, I'll tell you. I tell people all the time, there was only one recipe to cook crack. Let's be real. It was only everybody on the planet knew that recipe. And I'm not hyping it up, guys. You know I'm not. I'm talking real. Everybody on the planet at that time knew the recipe. But I didn't care about the recipe. You know why? Because I said, well, you guys go on and cook it up, do whatever you want to do. I just want to sell the brick.
Yeah.
Right.
So when I got the deal on the brick, that basically, I'll tell you real talk. The reason I became a millionaire at the age of 16 because my stepdad was Colombian and black, and he was the reason my mom took the case. He was giving me the brick for $150 a brick.
Yeah.
So think about up north where we come from, because I come from up north as well. Supply and demand is a real big thing, right? See, people down south, they used to getting stuff right in an instant, so stuff can go from $450 to $550. Up north, I'm talking a brick is 36, 38, 45, depending on the color.
Yeah.
Just imagine if I walked to you, King, at that time and said, give me 800, I got you. You're going to look at me crazy, especially when you understood the greatness of it.
Yeah.
And what he taught me was, I'd rather make $1 a day from 11,000 people than to make $3,000 from one person.
No doubt, no doubt. You know, I don't know, Pharaoh, I think you left prison before they started jailbreaking the tablets. We should still know that jail, you weren't there then, right? Everybody was getting them tablets. They was jailbreaking them where guys was having their cell phones and then they was plugging them in, putting free on it and all this stuff, right? But guys was charging like $1,500 to jailbreak your tablet. So how many people got $1,500? Some of the guys that's in there shaking it up and doing their little thing got some people out in the society doing some things. So you might get on the compound, you might get 5 customers that spent $1,500 with you, right? I say, why not charge $200 and get 2,000 people done?
Exactly.
You know, they couldn't see their business. They want to make it hard when you don't make. Yep.
They couldn't see that vision, King, because it didn't align with their process of thinking.
Yeah.
So when I say society has gotten lazy minded, it's just to that because they don't want to think too much now. Technology, you hit a button, and everything done. You know what I'm saying? Society don't want to think.
Guys, and I told somebody, our rates, the rates I just put out, right? The rates I just put out. King, listen to this. I told somebody you can either do $80 a month to be on our show because we just started charging because I just closed the deal on our building, which will open up in 2026. I said you can either charge you can pay $80 a month, or you can pay $25 a week. Do you know how many people are coming at me like I'd rather pay my $25 a week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they don't understand. Our thought process is so screwed up.
Yeah, it is.
My
It is.
sister,
$80 a month. That's easy. Cause $25 a week, you paying My bad.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, do it now for him. Do it now for him. Let it catch up. You got to do it for him sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. But it's the same way. It's the same way with the question I just asked. Do you want to make $10,000 a month, or do you want to make $1,000 a day, $1 a day from 11,000 people? But on that stipulation, people don't look at it like if 11,000 people pay me $1 a day in an account I cannot touch.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on now.
I will have $33,000.
Yeah, for real.
I'd rather take that 10K right now and be broke tomorrow. Because let's be real, I done got 13 grand in one whop in one day. My wife would tell you, I got clients that pay us. Hey, I sent the money, go pick it up. I go pick it up. I come in. I may take $2,500 out, give her the rest of it. By the end of the week, she like, babe, that money gone. We had shit to pay for.
Yeah.
And we don't understand that.
Yeah.
Us as
I did it. I did the math when I was in prison. The everyday expenses of a drug dealer, right? And most people don't make a lot of money when it comes to the illegal lifestyle, right? But if you're in the game and you buy the drugs, when you buy the drugs, first of all, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're tricking, you're driving around. When you got a car, you're going to drive until you ain't got no gas in the tank no more. You're going to drive up and down the same block so everybody see you. You got a $500 a day habit, but you're only putting in $200 a day. We never look at it because we moving so fast that we're not thinking every day we wake up we losing money. But I also had to learn that it's the common denominator. You know, we always deal in mathematics, right? It's the common denominator of successful people. When you look at Jay-Z, Jermaine Dupri's, Oprah Winfrey's and stuff like that, Warren Buffett's, everybody have a same common denominator. Warren Buffett, a billionaire, wake up 5 in the morning. So why do these people sleep at noon? They broke. You can't afford to sleep. Sleep is a privilege for the rich, and they don't even take it.
Right.
We gotta recognize the common denominator. We thinking that we supposed to what they say George Jackson slept 3-4 hours a day. We gotta realize we don't need. I sleep when I'm tired. I don't sleep because ain't nothing to do. There's always something to do.
Hey, with that note, listen to this though. You're right about that because when I found that concept out, I moved from the Midwest to the West Coast. You know why? Because I get more done by noon. I get more of my day done by waking up at 3 a.m., starting work at 4:30. By the time 11 o'clock come, I'm sitting around like shit. I'd have made almost $2,200.
Yeah, for real. For real, that's how you gotta do it.
And just like you said, and then but Godson, you know I'm up late at night. I sometimes don't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's how you
I may not go to bed
2 or 3 and wake up at 5.
Right.
Guys say how I do it. Guys say how you do this? Cause I get off the phone with my baby mama 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm up at 5:30. I'm back up.
Right.
Because I know that it's a job that has to be done.
But the thing about it is people be like, do you be tired? I'm like, I don't. I may take a power nap in the middle of the day.
I do that.
Lay down for a second. I said, but the thing about it is I get more accomplished. But one thing I wanted to say was what you just said. I tell people all the time, black people, we eat. White people have figured out, we think white people's food is bland, right? We think that they is bland. But here's the thing, though. I ran across a guy. I did a event in Dallas maybe about 2 months ago. And I ran across a guy. And while we were all, the black people was over there filling up their plates and stuff like that. This was another black person. He came and he got something. And where we were saying it was bad and it didn't taste good, he was tearing it up. Went back, got another plate, tearing it up. And so I asked him, I said, "You don't think it tastes bad?" He said, "I just eat to get full. I don't care what
Yeah.
it tastes like."
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, "I don't eat for taste. I eat to be full, and the fit is perfect." And when I
Yeah.
heard that, it changed me into a person that said, "You know what? I sleep just when I need it. I eat when I need to, because
Right.
technically you should only be really eating one meal a day."
One meal a day.
Yeah, you right. We saw, and it ain't supposed
I'm
to
not
be
saying
packed with meat.
Yeah.
exactly one
And,
meal
and,
a
and
It's
speaking
supposed
on
to be
that,
all
I just
vegetarian.
basically overnight became a personal trainer, right? Because my female friend and her sister, she going to have the surgery to lose for the weight. And she wanted me to train her to get her in shape. So I trained her and her sister. I just been off for a few days because I be going out here in Taylor, Michigan, fixing on this
yeah
doctor's office. But my cousin came over. He used to be big. He's still a little chunky. He said, "Man, would you charge me to get me in the gym?" I said, "First, I want to get you in the gym first. I want to see whether you're going to follow instructions before I take any money from you. Because I might not want to work with you. You know, because if
Right,
he ain't
right.
going to follow it,
Right.
he going to make me look
Ain't no
bad,
use
right?
to waste your energy. Right.
Yeah, you know, so I ain't going to waste my energy if he ain't going to perform the way I need to perform, because he going to be one of my proof of concepts on me being able to get a person that way, right?
exactly
So the thing is,
Yeah, exactly.
my sleeping patterns, my work ethics, it all has to be good. I do a job for $10 like I'm getting paid a million, because I'm looking at the next job that I'm gonna be offered.
Gotcha.
You know, and a lot of people, they don't do that. They look at the job. You know, you go to
they,
Walmart, they get lazy. Some people,
yep
sometimes you go to
Right.
Walmart, they say, "Well, how you doing today? Well, Walmart." Then sometimes you go in some of them, they don't even speak. They're
yep
so tired
hey,
of
I'm like
repetition,
you I'm
they
like
just stop
you so
speaking.
I'm like you when I
Yeah.
build push when I tell this story a lot. When I built my company's name is Promote Until Something Happens. I built a website when I first started that just said, "Can you pay us $3 a day?"
Yeah,
And they were like, "What you mean?" I was like, $3 not $3 a day, $3 a month. Just pay your monthly subscription, and you could call me and be a logo." And they was like, "But you do our stuff like we paying you 1,000." That first year, I had to show my team, "This is what I'm trying to show y'all. Off that $3 a month, we got so many customers coming in because of the, like you said, the quality of work, the things we would do for them, what I would call our hardware, our software side. But if
yeah,
they wanted like hardware, like stuff printed on shirts and stuff like that, of course you got to pay more. But because
yeah,
all they
Right.
wanted to do was at $3 a month, they came flooding in. We made 275K that first year.
yeah,
Then I took that
Right.
away and said, "Well, if they'll pay for that, let's start charging them $150 a month, and we're gonna work. And if you bring, it was only 5 of us when I started. Now we got over 200 people, but it was
oh
only
yeah,
5." And I was like, "But they were," and my people was like, "Well, what is $150? I spend that." And I said, "But think about this. If I just bring 5 people and we don't grow from that, if you don't bring 5, you don't." I said, "But think about it this way. If I bring 5 people a month, if we set our goal to 5 people a month, and the 5 of us every month go out and bring 5 people at $150, and we got 12 months in the year, do the math."
yeah,
That's how simple this whole thing is. But
yeah,
because they have beat us up so bad, we want 10 grand now, 20 grand now,
Right.
30 grand
Right.
now. And I'm
yeah,
like, but to get like Steve Harvey, I don't like Steve Harvey. I think he's the like I see people seeing him as a role model, but they don't really know him like I know him.
They don't
yeah,
really know.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, but he said something that I said was so smart. He said, "You want to be a millionaire? Start by making $10 a day, 5 days a week.
yeah,
Do something that you can charge $10 a day for, and in that first week, you charge $10. Do that for 4 weeks. Then come back and be like, my product is worth $20 for the next 4 weeks." The more you do that, then your stock will grow. That's just simple as that.
oh yeah, simple math, simple math. You know who I like, who be building on a lot of stuff. I know you got to be familiar with him. Wall Street Trapper.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, who was locked up. He was locked up. He was the reason he's the main reason when I met him, and he before he went viral and told the story, I had met
Yeah.
him at a
Yeah.
he told me, and he was like, and I said, bro, that's the same, bro. I got arrested at 17. Somebody tried to snitch on me, but nobody could have. So the key to me was, I had my best friend is 72 years old. He was 18 when I was 13. No, when I was 16. So when
Yeah.
he kept me out of, well, he was older than that. Yeah, he was way older than me. He was like, but he kind of kept me out of people's line of sight. Even though
Yeah.
I was the man, he handled everything. So people who were getting caught because we had rules. Don't do anything after 11 o'clock. Go to school. So those people that got caught, they would get caught and be like, well, that's not the person. I'm gonna tell y'all who the person is. So I got pulled over one day, and I think I was like 17, about ready to go to college. They pulled me over one day, and they searched my whole car. I get loud with the police officer. I end up getting assault charge on the police officer, but they wasn't worried about the assault charge. They kept trying to get me to tell who I was.
Yeah.
And so when he told me that, I told him, I said, man, I met a guy. That's how I got involved with white people, because I met a guy. That dude said, you about to go to, they trying to get you on something that's so petty. But I just stole $3 million from 4 people. And all I got to pay back is this. And I'm sitting up here listening to him. That's when I was like, yeah, I'm going to college to learn how to do that. Because I was a hustler. I'm like, this, my cousin, the Bank of America and Wells Fargo scandal, where the managers were stealing $1 a day from people's accounts.
Yeah.
My cousin was the leader who started it out of Omaha.
Yeah. I remember that was happening too.
Yeah. They were stealing $1. Everybody who had an account. It was so small that nobody paid attention because they just got us so used to paying fees. She figured out, let's write this algorithm that every time money comes in their account, they get an extra dollar taken away for a fee that moves to this account. And all the managers. I was like, and now she's working at a Sonic, but she has to get a job and play like she's broke. But literally, she's still getting almost $30 million.
Yeah.
Wow. That's dope.
I mean, the prison system do that to us all the time, though, right? All the money being on our account, they be using it, doing all that other stuff, right? Next thing you know, when we order something, we looking at the solid dollars. We're not looking at the cent. So if they take 10 cents, 12 cents,
from the
we're not looking at that.
From the JPay to the secure pay, so all that shit, they getting up that 99-cent shit. We already know what that's going to.
Yep. And that's but we need to figure that out, because like you were saying, our mindset is on going out here and making $3,000 right now to go blow off. Instead of saying, let me make $3,000. When I talk to people about life insurance policy, I told somebody the other day, it was like, Jay, how much do you pay for your life insurance policy? I said, I got $3 million life insurance policy. Each one of them run about $250 a month. They were like, dang, that's a lot. I said, it's not really, because you don't understand that with $1 million policy, even if I am paying that $250 a month, after 6 months, I can go into my policy and withdraw the money I need to buy a house and not have to get it from the bank.
Right. Exactly.
My son's house I bought with our $1 million policy, because all you do is keep paying back into the policy. If you don't understand and if you don't understand how millionaires take millionaires, they don't talk about nothing running in this country. Rockefeller built their industry off life insurance policies. Every millionaire builds their industry off. If you tell me you run a business and you're my son, I'm gonna go get the money from the life insurance policy, but I'm gonna open up another life insurance policy on you for $1 million to make up for what you took from this one. That's how they built, and we don't get it. We don't look at it. We don't, none of that.
That's the game, though.
They deal with entities. They deal with entities and stuff like that when you're talking about not having your name in something. So, an LLC is an entity.
It's called
a trust.
It's called a trust. And I'm teaching people how to do that. I'm teaching people how to build that now. If you got an LLC, if you got this, you need to go and take it out of your name, move it over to a trust, make your, on my business, on my main company. Hey, I got 4 boys. So you think I ain't come out of this owing child support? I've been having 4 boys since I was 16. I got about $50K in child support that I just don't care about. And they come after me all the time. Look, they come after me all the time for it. Real talk. This is true. I can speak the truth. But the thing about it is, because of my trust for my business, they can't touch nothing. And whenever I go to court for the back, my kids are grown now, and I'm still going to court for the back child support. And I'm telling them, like, listen, bro, I only make $8.25 an hour.
Yeah. Right.
So whatever you want to take from that, take it. But you can't touch my homes. You can't touch nothing else. That's what white people have realized. So when they talk about Donald Trump, oh, he went bankrupt 7 times.
No. Yeah, he closed my LLC now. That's it. He got a million of them. Yeah, he got all kinds of LLCs.
Somebody's phone going on. Oh, that's Supreme.
Yeah, but like I say, we gotta know how to make our money work for us, and that's something that we not being taught in our communities though. We don't know how to get that house, take the mortgage out, take the money out the house, buy another house, using their money. I mean our own money. Using it.
I just told my wife that. She was like, the house we live in now, we renting, right? Because she was when we met. And I told her, I said, she was like, I want to buy another house. She said, but I want to tell the lady that we're moving out of her house. And I said, you're not going to say nothing, because when we buy this other house, we're going to move in that house, and we're going to rent this house out and charge them double what we're paying here.
Yeah, sublease it. Yeah, sub it. Yeah.
I was like,
I just told the female, she said she finna move out these apartments on Jefferson. I told her, you finna move out. Now, she old enough to be in them apartments because maybe you gotta be 55 and older, and it's Section 8, right? She only paid $273, $275 a month. I said, you finna move? She said, yeah. I said, when you keep this, and I'll pay you the rent, and I'll make sure it's 2 months in advance. That way ain't nothing will ever happen. The rent always gonna be paid. I could take that same apartment that she finna give up and tell the mother I want $700 a month.
Yeah.
And all I gotta do is pay $275.
And you know what? Somebody go jump on it quick, because everything is $1,200 now anyway.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Well, I can go stay there myself if I wanted to. But until I get to the point where I want to stay there, I could rent it out to somebody else and get her $275 every month, and then collect $700 a month.
And that's the whole thing. I was saying that, like, I was telling somebody that, I said, hey, at the end of the day, we want to be, they taught us to be so holy. And that's what God said, and that's what we be talking about. Yes, believe in God, but they taught us to be holy, while meanwhile they're playing under the board.
Under the table. Yeah. Because holy don't mean holy.
Everybody talks about millionaires, and I'm like, millionaires are the ones that step on everybody. Look at Diddy. Diddy's a billionaire.
Everybody.
Jay-Z, and I love Jay-Z. Well, I love the old Jay-Z. But Jay-Z, actually, you go back and look at his history. He's a billionaire now, but look at everybody he stepped on to get their way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Baby did the same thing, though. Yeah. He stepped on Lil Wayne and all type of stuff. He didn't get Lil Wayne everything he had coming.
But my thing that I keep saying is, quit blaming them.
Yeah.
Blaming them for what they learned, and they learned to get ahead on.
But that's like we were talking about with the thing that's going on with P. Diddy. He learned that from even Suge Knight didn't speak against him. Suge Knight say, listen, even though me and that man don't get along this and that, he learned that from somebody else.
Yeah.
That you helping the shit, he learned that shit. They taught him that shit. You know? So now we looking at our brother.
Learn that shit.
Yeah, hey, we looking at our brother. We putting him down, we stepping on him. But he learned that from somebody else. When he was doing it, it was all right. It was all right.
Everybody got a choice, though. This the thing about it, though, Supreme. And I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm not the judge. I'm the executioner. So it's on the Most High to do the judging. You see what I'm saying? The thing about this is, he was taught, he learned it, but he wanted to learn it. Everybody has a choice. It's only one energy. It's only one energy. You got a choice to be positive. You got a choice to be negative. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
but even with that though, you gotta understand. Even the Bible said, says, "Give unto Caesar what is owed to Caesar." So if we live in a world that they control, even if I do believe in God, He gave us a way to say, "Look, you gotta do what you have to do down here, and whatever that is to do what I tell you to take care of your family, to take care of your kids, to take care of your wife, make that happen." That's why I tell people, don't be ashamed that you had to sell drugs, because listen, the only people who think it's bad are the people who got lights in their house every day. They got food on their table every day. But imagine the kid getting out. Once you get out of it, go back and get somebody else out. Because I do talk to a lot of kids. Like, if your mom is at home and you got food at the house and you got this, don't ever step in that game. Go to school and shut up. I don't care what your friends are running right now. 5 years, you're looking at now. 5 years from now, they're gonna be locked up or dead. Think about that. But at the time when I was doing it, we didn't have food. My sister,
no doubt. Self-preservation.
But that's the sad part
self-preservation
about
is first law of nature.
Yeah.
That's the sad part about society, because that's what I mean about the system creating a situation where humans would have to degrade other humans and destroy their bodies and livelihoods to survive.
Yeah.
But that's human nature.
The system created that.
That's not society. That's human nature. And I have to disagree with you on that. That's
to destroy to survive?
That is human nature. We were born into that.
That's
with that innate ability
nature, though.
To get you on. You got to get you on. Listen, before I sit back and watch everybody grab a piece of chicken off that plate, I'm grabbing me one. Because everybody ain't going to think about leaving me one.
Society,
I got to grab me one.
What you're talking about, society, godson, and that's why I say we always agree to disagree. But that's why I say when you're saying society didn't create that. Man, when God created us with flesh, that was created. Exactly what you're talking about. Man will always
the animalistic basic
animal
instinct of the body.
And what society found out was they're gonna do this anyway. So why not make it? Why not increase profitable so that we can always stay in control? Why not make them fight against each other? Why not do this? Asians hate them, Mexicans hate them. I told somebody the other day, they got mad because you know what I feel about how I feel about the immigration thing. I'm not saying send every Mexican back to Mexico, but when can you go to Mexico and live in their country and not get deported if you ain't got the right papers?
True.
I mean, technically the whole West Coast is Mexico. They want their land back.
I hear what you're saying, but we still live under governed laws.
Yeah.
And governed law says California is a part of America. Because you get in it, you still need paperwork. So if you get caught up, go back and try again, but do it the right way. Because
you know what I tell people, King J? This is what I tell people. I tell people, I explain it like this. If you a foster, let's say you're a child and you hear your parents talking about adopting a foster child. Now, at first, every week, you go to the supermarket and get you a whole box of cereal. But now when you get that foster brother, you got to give him half of that box. Yep. Now, you feel the pat in your stomach like, oh, shoot, I ain't getting full as I used to in the morning, right? Now you hear your parents talking about adopting another one. You say, hold on. You want some input in this conversation. Like, don't, because now you got 1/3 of the box coming, right? So when we feeling the effects of that saying like, okay, y'all come over here, y'all taking this away, y'all taking that away, y'all taking on the job, y'all make it hard for us to tell them you want $20 an hour when you gonna give them $2 an hour, right? So what he's saying is, do it the right way. We ain't got no problem with you because we understand how this government works. Only thing we saying is, you got to do what's right, because if you go to court and you stole my bike and you stole the bike and I stole it from you, they're not gonna get that bike back to you because of proof of bad labor.
Right.
So why should somebody be successful for not doing it right? Because that's gonna start teaching us, don't do it right because you can't never be successful.
Right.
We gotta be seen right on that.
What I was gonna say, all the Nigerians that are here, Why aren't they deporting them? You know why? Because they're all
Quick.
coming through New York. They're all coming through New York the right way. They're all getting the paperwork. They're all making sure they're citizens. They're all taking the tests. When the Chinese people come here, they're not deporting them. Why? Because they're all coming through. They're all getting it set up, and they're all coming through the right way. I'm not telling
Now
you.
it's some Africans that's getting deported.
Oh,
Now they may not be Nigerian. Yeah, the Sundanese. Yeah, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Go ahead, bro.
It is some, but it's more what they were saying is because our borders have been so wide open. Because even Canada does, and the reason why I'm so adamant about it is because our sister country to the north of us, we can't run to Canada for shit.
No. Hell no.
I got a friend that was there. He married a Canadian woman. His visa for work expired. He applied to expand it. They told him no. He said, I'm married to this Canadian woman. They said, you and her both can get out.
What?
Yeah.
And they live in Cali right now. This is real talk.
What? That's crazy.
But we are the only country that says, okay, we'll let you get away with that because we are a capitalist country. About money, then we care about anything. The more immigrants that are here, the crime goes up. Because now you can hire them as killers. Most of the ones he's deporting are wanted in their own countries for murder.
Yeah.
This country was built on immigrants.
And I hear y'all. I hear what y'all saying. Every black person in America has said that to me from day one. But here's the thing that I'm about to tell you.
I ain't even talking about I ain't even talking about slavery. I'm just saying the fact that
I know, but black people are unable to say that. And I'm saying this to counteract you on that. I don't care if it was. If they came and stole this land 200, 400, 800 years ago, that law does not apply to us anymore. We live under the law that they built. That's what Jesus meant when he said, give unto Caesar what is owed to Caesar. If he stole the land, because don't act like during the Bible time, they stole land every day. Think about that.
Hell yeah, they did.
They enslaved people every day. Kings wanted
all through the Old Testament.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we got to stop acting like, oh, they came over here and found this country and the Indians were here and we were here. Got it. We were here. But guess what they did? They came and said, fuck you niggas. You going to work for us and we going to create this great country. Whether they stole it, bought it, killed you for it, don't matter.
It's here.
Law.
Yeah, it's here. Yeah.
You know, they stole all our riches, and then they say, thou shalt not steal. We say, okay.
Exactly. They contradicted themselves. The Bible said this.
Yeah.
They always, America's the biggest hypocrite.
That's why God said, that's why the Bible says, stand unto the Lord and make sure you understand what you're doing. Be knowledgeable. Don't just come and be like, I know God, but I'm not going to learn their laws too, because you have to play by both.
You got to. You know what? One of my students asked me from Muskegon. He got out and he wrote me when I was still in prison. And he said, God, man, I'm out here trying to be a 5%er, but man, it's hard. I say, sometimes you got to be a 10%er, but don't be an 85.
Right.
Sometimes you got to intertwine. You got to be the blood sucker, you know, but you don't be the blind, deaf, and dumb in no time.
And that's the whole key, though.
Right.
I tell everybody, look at your job. You may be the best qualified. Think about being on a job. I know y'all probably had a job where you were the best qualified. You should have got the promotion. You should have been the one, but they gave the promotion to this idiot over here.
Yeah.
And you like, what the fuck? But because he learned how to play the rules.
You got to know how to play the game.
Hey.
And that's what they're doing. It's things that they learn, even in the legalities, where they learn stuff about the law that they got in books in the book. We never even read. So they hear some stuff. Just like I was watching football one day, and a play was ran, and the referees never seen this happen before. So they looking up some stuff and looking up. They didn't even know that it was already something on the books for that particular play. But they never even experienced it, never even knew about it until that play happened.
And that's what I try to get people. Like you said, I got a lot of people I mentor, and I try to tell them, you're trying to play off of what your feelings are. They don't give a fuck. We used
Yeah.
to tell our kids as we grew up, I used to tell my boys, if somebody in authority, just like my mom and dad told me, just like their grandma told them, just like their grandma told them, if somebody in authority say something to you, shut your goddamn mouth and let me deal with it. We
Yeah,
live
no
in
doubt.
a society today that we cry about our kids being killed, but it's because you done told your child that he can stand in a grown up's place.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But see, I always been the type, like, even with my daughters, like I said, when I got locked up, my daughters was 16 months and 18 months. So as they was growing up, I'd be on the telephone with them, and they get to asking me some questions that most people would get stuck. Like, you know, just imagine being 11, 12 years old, and you
Yeah.
saying, Daddy, about sex. Y'all be like, whoa, he don't want to talk about that, right? Or he get to talk about, see, the bird and the bee. I never did that.
Me
If it
neither.
was something too sensitive at that time, I just told him, right now, that ain't what you should focus on. But when the time come, I'm gonna build with you on that. But when we lie to our children, we open up the door for them to lie to us. And one of the key things that I recognized growing up was when a person was taught about Christmas. We was told that this fat white guy come down the chimney and deliver the present. So therefore, when we go in our mom and daddy room and find the presents up under the bed or in their closet, we saying to ourselves, they lied to us. Now we're not gonna go to them and say, Mom and Daddy, you lied, but we're gonna start lying to them. And they wonder where we learn lying from. We learn lying from them. So if we be honest with our children, they always feel they can come to you and talk to you about anything. You're not gonna whoop them or do nothing. Come tell me about it, and then I'm gonna let you know. Come to me before you get in some shit. So I ain't gotta keep getting you out of shit, and they would develop that. I was just talking to, and this was something so vital. I was telling a female today about this. When a person is growing up in tradition, and let's say, for example,
Send me the address and let me see what
your
it is.
sister, she cook a ham and she cut both ends off the ham before she put it in the oven. You say, sis, why you cut both ends of the ham off before you cook it? She said, I don't know. So you go ask your mother. Mama, why did you teach her to cut both ends off the ham before she cooked it? She said, I don't know. Your grandmama taught me. So you go ask grandmama. And grandmama say, well, when I was growing up, the ovens was real small. We got big ovens now. Why they still cutting the ends off? The whole ham was fit in the oven now. At first we didn't. But we follow traditions without even knowing why we follow the traditions. So therefore, we develop so easy to be followers instead of ones that question something. Because you know, growing up, we ask a question, your mama say, "Cause I said so." That ain't no way to raise no child. Not if you want them to be a leader. You got to allow them the opportunity to ask the questions that they want to ask, and if you can't answer it, say you just don't know. Don't get mad that you can't answer what's 2 plus 2 is 4 because you didn't go to school. So when I ask you, you say, boy, go find something to do while I whoop your ass. And I think that's what a lot of parents do. They say the hardest thing to say 3 words is I love you. I think the hardest 3 is to say I don't know.
Right.
You know, we're afraid to just say we don't know shit. So we'll play it off. We'll play it off like we know.
Well, I used to tell my mom when we started talking again, I said the worst thing that I hated about you was you would tell us not to lie. And that lying was bad, but then the minute the bill person called, you would make us lie.
Yeah, the Jehovah's Witness knock on the door. She say, shh. Act like we ain't here. When somebody come and looking for the money they loaned your mama, she say, she ain't here.
But that's where we get better with our kid. That's why I told her I never did that with my kid.
Never.
I would never put you into a place to be a grown up. And that's
my
how
daughter's 35, and she finna come stay with me. I ain't seen her since 2000, January of 2000, when I was on the ridge. She came to see me in 1300 Bogan. And I have a relationship with her that's so powerful. I'll never forget when I put her on the phone with Yusuf X, old man Joe. She was 5 years old, going on 6. And I put him on the phone. I say, ask her about Christmas. He say, you believe in Christmas? She say, "No, ain't no fat white man coming down my chimney." And you know, for her to say that at the age of 5,
Right.
how many children are being taught the honesty of all this shit? Okay, if you want to celebrate it, celebrate it. But you're going to celebrate it honestly. You know, and that's what I teach them. No matter what, I'm going to be honest with my children at all times.
True that.
I ain't never going to lie to them. Never. If they ask me, did I just kill that man? I'm going to say, yup, don't tell nobody. But I ain't going to never lie to my children. I never lie to them at all. And I think that's some of the best relationships. But one thing I also keep in mind too, and me being a parent, even though I ain't been there, I'm not their friend.
No.
Yep.
I ain't trying to be their friend.
That is always must be a distinction. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For real. A lot of people trying to, I see them smoking weed with their children. If that's how they do it, all is well. I ain't the one that does. I'm just not going to do that with mine. Because I'm going to stay the parent. Now, you can smoke weed. I ain't going to tell you not to smoke weed. Go smoke that with your friend.
Hey, my
You ain't
kid,
gonna smoke with that.
hey, I'm like you. My oldest is 30.
Right.
And he knows when I'm around you, when he turned 21, we had a drink together. And after we had a drink together, hey, you can't do this around me normally because I'm not your friend. I'm not going to go hang around you. I don't hang out with him. When he called me up like, hey, Dad, can we hang? Nope. Go find one of your friends. Now, if you at my house, you at my house and we kicking it, barbecuing, that's different. But I'm not going out with you. I'm not going
we ain't clubbing. We ain't in the same social circle.
Yep.
You know?
Right.
But a person gotta always remember that, man. We always gotta remember to be the parent. No matter what. Everybody need a guide in their life. They need somebody to guide them. We have to be that guide. A friend ain't always gonna be the one to guide you. He gonna have you come on, let's go do this. Yeah. My mother told me when she was alive, my mama said, I want to be your friend. I was in prison. She said, I want to be your friend. I said, Mama, I got a lot of expectations for a friend. I think it's safe for being my mama. Because when I ask a friend to do something, see, if I ask my mama, I ain't going to get mad when she say no.
Right.
If I ask a friend to do something, they say no, I'm mad at you. I might not talk to you again. You know? So I won't let it separate me and my mama. I might tell my friend some crazy stuff to go do. But I ain't gonna tell my mama that. So we got to just keep that in mind. Stay the parent, but be the type of parent that they feel they come to and talk to you about anything. Whether it's sex.
But see, and that's always been the key to aspect of parenting, regardless, even the aspect of being a child, that communication link. You know what I'm saying? Because especially old school parents, you know, we was raised different. The parents nowadays, half of them children. You know what I'm saying? So they children raising children, and it's just communication is always vital and important.
Yeah.
So the way you communicate, because the way you communicate with your child is basically the way you communicate with society and family and people. Period.
Yeah. And for the women that's listening, I understand and I recognize the hard work that they do with raising men. But a woman cannot raise a man by herself. I don't care if the granddaddy in his life, the uncle, she needs to have a male role model in his life to teach him how to be a man. Like I say, some of them do good jobs. I ain't gonna say great because a woman can't do great jobs with boys, with males. They doing good jobs because they being left to do that by themselves. But a woman, if you don't have that male figure in that child's life, you see what they going through, what they promoting with the homosexuality, all that type of stuff. If a woman is raising that child like that, it's more prone for him to become sensitive to a lot of different things that he shouldn't be sensitive towards. So we need that male figure. And for the males that's listening, if you got male children on your block, and you see that he got a mama, the daddy don't be around, you ain't got to be having sex with the mama to embrace that little boy and take him up under your wing and be that male figure to him. We all got to choose that role, you know. So it's all about just helping the understanding that the products that's coming from our neighborhoods is the products that we produce. If you want good fruit, you got to produce good fruit. And it says in the Bible, it say, there is many others that's a part of my flock that's not of my people. So everybody that got your blood running through their veins
ain't the people.
Is not the people. You got friends, family, and relatives. Some people got the same blood, they relatives. They're not family. What the Bible say too, the Bible says that your friends will become closer to your brother.
Right.
Sometimes.
See, and that's what I love about divine family. Because it ain't got to be no bloodline. It's a spiritual line.
It's spiritual. That's what connects and binds everything. The ones got to recognize their own value. If you don't recognize your own value, you cannot value nobody else. When you realize your value and know what you contribute to being in a relationship or relation with anybody, then you able to recognize what they able to bring to the table as well.
The thing about that is, what makes that so great is when you realize that you get the mentality that I don't care what you think about me.
Yes.
You become a total different person.
Yes.
See, I've been having that mentality since I got on my own at 13. But I see people who care and I see the problems that it caused them. I wake up,
that's too much ego.
I don't care if you talk about me, okay, and now what? I told my boys, why do you care? Why do you care what that dude thinks about you? Why do you care what that girl thinks about you? Why do you care? If they're talking bad about you, find a new circle.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I tell people right now, I don't understand what they call cyberbullying right now. You ain't taught your kid what a block button is?
Yeah, for real. But you know, that's what it is, though, because, you know, back in the days when our mamas got sick, or they go take a nap. Now they got all this shit they put these labels on. They going to the hospital. Our mama wasn't going to pay for no hospital visit, and she got a goddamn headache or a migraine.
Right. I tell people all the time. At the end of the day, I just don't
now you see them all in the hospital talking about, I got a migraine. Get your ass about that goddamn hospital.
I got off a show where they were mad at me because I said I don't believe anxiety is real. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
How you try to prove it to me. To me, anxiety is just a fear of something. Something has you so hyper that you are scared of it and because you can't control
Don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to handle it. Right.
So if you beat the fear, you will beat anxiety.
Beat the anxiety.
Stop being scared. But I get people, anxiety's real because I remember I almost felt like I was about to die one day. I'm like, it's because what happens? You get scared, your heart starts to beat up real fast, your head starts
adrenaline rush.
You start thinking, now all of a sudden I got anxiety. Shut the fuck up. Excuse my language.
Yeah, for real. For real though.
If you don't go sit your ass down somewhere, take a couple of deep breaths, talk about the problem that you're having and what you're thinking about, watch your anxiety go away.
Yeah. For real.
I just don't get it. I tell everybody, yes, I know depression is real. Don't get that wrong.
Definitely.
I've been depressed before, but find something worth living for.
Yeah. I just put the calm in it. I just put the calm like they got Gmail at gmail.com. Be decompressed. First be depressed, then decompress.
Yeah.
You know? But like I say, it's all about, like I say, y'all showing and proving, you know, it's about turning our tragedy into triumph.
Yes.
You know,
I can sit back. I tell people all day, I love you guys. And I love Godson because he can sit back and be like, I was locked up 10 years of my life and I ain't trying to do nothing like you hear most of these niggas doing. Man, I just a felon and I can't get nothing done. I'm like, nigga, I know plenty of felons that have started trucking companies, went out and got this.
For real.
Yeah. What is the difference between you and them? Well, they got people helping them, nigga. From what I know, they didn't.
Yeah.
From what I know, they didn't.
Yeah,
so
you know I'm better than them.
What part do you got? Because they called me, I was working for them for less than $275 a month. So what part did you see? They paid me great money.
Yeah.
But nigga, when they was $275, do you know $270? Bro, you know how fast you can spend $275? Walk
for
out
real.
there.
Right now, when you break 100, that mug gone in 30 minutes. You can't even break 100 right now. I've been around guys, and I ain't breaking no 100.
No, Supreme, I just
Yeah,
spent $75 on 5 bags of groceries, the small bags of groceries. Bro,
yeah,
come
Right.
on, man.
yeah,
So when
for
I
real.
try to
Right.
tell people, when people get mad at me, I'll be like, they have created a world of people who give a damn.
Yeah,
Let's
for
go
real.
back to when I was little and we didn't give a damn. Your mom used to
We
whoop
ain't
your
give a
ass. Did that stop you from coming outside the next
Yeah,
day? No, they're gonna take his ass whooping again.
yeah.
right. Until you not take the ass whooping.
Yeah, and everybody in prison had their ass whooped with stitching cords and shit, and we still went to prison.
Right.
Come on
You
now.
know,
Right.
only one I
Yeah.
can think of and beat the shit out of that didn't go to prison was Michael Jackson. Joe beat his ass. He ain't come to prison.
But that nigga turned into a millionaire, so ass whooping
Turned
is
into
what
For
a
it
real.
is.
motherfucker
For real.
multi-millionaire.
But
Hey,
And
I
that's
he
want
still
Joe to,
owns
I
Sony.
want Joe to be my daddy if I got to take ass whipping anyway.
right. If I'm gonna
I'd
take
rather
Look
be
it,
whipped
though.
into success.
Look,
but that's
man.
why that's why they tell us now don't whoop your kids because
Yeah.
they understand the Bible said spare the rod, spoil
Get
the
it right.
child. It's the
Yeah.
reason why we have so many kids out here that feel like they can talk back to you, feel like they
Yeah.
can say what they want to say.
Oh
I
yeah,
told
see that's yeah.
one of my foster kids, guy, he turned around and was like, "What you gonna do? Put me in time?" I said, "I don't know what timeout is. I know
Yeah.
what ass whooping is.
Yeah,
And
no
you
doubt.
tell me to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
For
You go
real.
tell
See,
the state
I
whatever you want to say."
Yeah.
I'm like that with my grandbabies. Look, the one that the ass whooping don't affect, you get put on punishment. The one that ass whooping do affect, that's what the fuck you catching because you know better.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
the
can I
boy in
tell
all the powers, they find the motherfucking thumb screw. Find the
yeah,
thumb
I
screw,
Yeah,
tell
find his weakness, goddammit.
hey, I
Take that
tell
right.
telephone, take them video games, goddamn, gonna be
Yep.
crying like a little
Hey,
baby.
I got that happening right now, godson. I got one
Yeah.
person. I got one daughter one foster daughter that we adopted that do not give a fuck. You can whoop
Yeah.
her.
Right.
She's gonna come back out like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
So what
Uh-huh.
do you do? No, you can't watch
Punish
TV.
them.
Get up at this table and
Right.
do the schoolwork also.
Gotta
Exactly.
find their weakness.
Yeah.
Find their weakness.
Yeah. It's all psychological.
But I
What
It's
got
all
Tupac say,
psychological.
find a weakness and own it. You gotta
yep,
find their weakness and
See,
own it.
yeah, see,
absolutely.
I prefer placing the punishments as for the ass because the ass whoopings didn't do shit for me.
No. I got
So
with
that's
stitch
what I
cords
say.
and do shit.
My the grandbabies that the ass whooping do affect, that's what they get. The ones that don't affect, yo, yeah, you get
Yeah.
to face that corner and put that book on your head for about an hour, homeboy.
Yeah.
Let's see
Yeah.
how
Hey,
strong your legs come out.
I got
Yeah.
them doing squats. Oh, you
Oh,
Oh
squat
yeah.
that too.
against your back against
What?
the
Come
wall.
on, put squat
Hold
down,
your
put them
arms
arms out. Yeah.
Yeah. Take it back to the old days of
Come
school.
on now.
Yeah.
What? Hey,
Yeah.
hey, don't put that leg up on that knee right there. Squat it
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Hey, 'cause I
But
don't
see,
play.
that's
The
the
one
thing.
thing,
We gotta recognize as the elders, we gotta recognize the methods that work. Our
yep,
Come on.
parents fucked up in some shit, but we gotta recognize what do work and take that and use that into the
And
future
do
for these
that.
kids now.
Exactly.
you recognize that each child is different. Just because you beat this
Yeah.
child,
Damn.
you're getting through to him.
You
All you're
can't.
doing is really creating more
Exactly.
anger.
And I
Right.
said this in prison. I can tell guys because Pharaoh, we build a lot of guys, and they'll do the same shit the next week, right? On some bullshit. But I had to
Right.
learn to keep building
Right.
with these guys because we all can stick and build at the same time, but we all ain't gonna shit at the same time.
Right.
So
Right.
we eat that meal at the same. All of us eat at 6. We all ain't gonna shit at 8.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we got to keep on teaching, regardless if we don't see the effects in the larger scale. We got to keep teaching because there might be one who mind that we might change. I'm
Word.
looking for that
That's
one.
right.
I ain't looking for a million. I'm looking for that one.
That's right.
I'm looking for
That's
that one
right.
that
The
say,
Morpheus of the underground.
yeah, I'm looking for
Yeah.
that one guy to call me pops and I ain't even his daddy.
You see what I'm saying?
For real.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nah. Supreme King. You got 3
Yes,
minutes
indeed.
in to go, bro. Any shout out you want to give real quick?
Man, I want to give a shout out to you, and I want to give a shout out to the brother Jay, man. Listen, y'all doing some good shit.
Palms up.
Keep
Thank
on
you,
doing
King.
it, man. Keep on doing it. And like I say, anytime, you know what I'm saying, you got a slot that you need to fill, I'm there for you, brother. I'm there.
Always, man. Appreciate
Yes,
you,
indeed.
man. I want to
I
salute.
appreciate you. We go back, way back.
Oh, you already know. We already know,
Yeah.
bro. That's what I want to
Yes,
say, man. I
indeed.
thank you, brother. I appreciate everything that you do, man. Everything that you build, man. You one of my mentors, bro. So you know I was gonna definitely, most definitely, keep the mathematics alive and carried on, bro. I'm glad
Yes,
to hear
indeed.
you look good, bro. Strong minded, strong. Look, bro, your soul strong. You see it in your eyes, there. You know, so keep that, bro.
I'm trying.
I love that, bro. I love that, man. I love you, my brother. I appreciate you coming on, and I love what you said about the sisters, man.
Oh
And
yeah, we
salute to
gotta look
all the
out.
queens. Salute to all the queens. Salute to all the sisters, man. All the
True,
women on
true
the
that,
earth,
true that.
because y'all hold a power that you know a lot of
Yeah,
people want to deny.
for
But
real.
those of us that know who you are, we know who you are. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? So
indeed.
salute to you.
We
And
spent 9 months
we
trying to get
appreciate.
out the womb. We spend the rest of our life trying to climb back in.
Come on now.
For real.
And on that note, man, salute. Thank you for tuning in to Just a
All right,
Conversation.
peace,
You know
y'all.
we'll be back next week. Peace.
All right,
All right.
stay positive.
Hey guys, go ahead and
That's
drop off because I got technical issues on my side. Just drop off. I'm about to end the live.
okay, bet. All right, Supreme love, bro.
All
Love,
right.
love, peace, peace, King J.
Talk to you guys later.
Peace.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Hey, what's going on?